You know what? Mr. Government, you're not scaring me. If it really was going to be that bad, you'd have to already be bringing the troops home. We killed Osama. Why are we there anymore anyway? That's what gets me. The Republicans talk about, we got to cut domestic spending. You know what? Let's cut our foreign spending. Screw the rest of the world. Let's take care of our own first. You know, they talk about, well, government pensions are eating us up. You know what? If you didn't hire so many people to do nothing, you wouldn't have so many pensions. Let's cut the government payroll. Then you can afford to pay people what you owe. See, what is a pension? A pension is when you work 30 years and part of the agreement you working for a low salary is that X amount of dollars is put toward your pension, toward your retirement. That's what a pension is, your retirement money. What does the gooberman do? Oh, let's take what we owe our own people away so we can throw some more out to build $400 million worth of mosque repair in other countries. Yeah, $400 million they spend on mosques, rebuilding mosques in other countries. How about them apples? And they say, well, we're going to cut domestic spending. You know what? Let's let the rest of the world deal with what they got to deal with, and we deal with our own stuff. So, you know, I'm not believing nothing you're saying. All this rigmarole is going to be for an excuse so they will not pass a balanced budget amendment. They're going to cut off the Social Security. They're going to old folks, so the nursing homes will have to throw the old folks out on the street. That's what they're going to do. They're going to take it out on the old folks, which I think as of this year, there's still a surplus. The surplus isn't gone until 2015 or so, 2013. So there's still a tiny bit of Social Security surplus. So, you know, if Social Security was separated from the government, in other words, kind of like the post office, where all that money comes out of your SSI on your paycheck, went into a separate account away from the government fingers, keep their fingers at it, there would be no problem with that. No, they've tied it to the rest of the government so they can use that to blackmail the American people. What I say is let them go bankrupt. All us old folks, people on assistance, we're just going to have to deal with it until the rest of the American public is tired enough to fire. We're going to have an armed march on Washington, and we're going to have to add the balanced budget amendment. We're going to have to add amendment to say foreign spending, no. Government payroll, no. We don't need it. All right? We've got over 3 million, over 10% of the American population is in prison. Half of them is for drugs. The war on drugs is over. We lost. Take the money out of the drugs. Screw it. Okay, let's see what else is causing this mess. See, it's both parties. It's both the Republicans and the Democrats. They're both lying. Now, some of them may not be intentional. Maybe the bureaucrats, maybe their advisors that are all dependent on government payroll up there, you know, all the people that work without being on government payroll, they would be unemployed. Those are the people that's whispering in the congressman's ear, well, we need this program, we need that program. You know what? They're all lying. Especially the senators that have been there for a while. They know what the game is. They're screwing with you, Mr. United States citizen. They're lying. Like I said, if we were really in a financial Armageddon, the troops would have to be brought home because we couldn't pay them. There would be no operations over there. I don't see the troops coming in. The military still flies over my house 5 or 6 times a day in the C-141s. Everything's going on. They don't care because they know they're going to scare Mr. John Public. John Q. Public is going to get scared. and they're going to call up and demand action, demand that you do something. You know what? And there will blow for about another 15 years or so. That will blow another balanced budget thing. There won't be no balanced budget amendment. And they'll keep on until it all just poof. We're going to be in a collapse similar to what Russia went through. You know, that's what brought the wall down and all like that. Here it comes to us. I don't believe you, Mr. Federal Government. You're lying. You don't want to cut the federal payroll. That means you teachers, you're going to have to do without assistants. Each teacher in the school system is not going to have their own personal secretaries. You know, budgets can be cut in the education. The DEA. What? Why? That's up to the states. Law enforcement's up to the states, not up to the federal government. Shouldn't be no federal criminal law. There should be no criminal law at all at the federal level. You know, that's all up to the states. California wants to legalize, fine and dandy. Don't care. Tennessee wants to, I'm here in Tennessee. I don't care. You know what? You take the money out of the drug trade, and all of a sudden the mystique will go away. The gangs won't be making any money for it. So all that money will disappear. Because everybody will have it. It's like, I got drugs out. You know, here's a pound of marijuana for $5. You know, it grows like a weed. No money, no crime. Of course, they'll find something else to do, but it'll be one less thing anyway. Our government's having more problems. Guess what? My 2 senators in Tennessee did. They voted to give the FDA police powers and make them a bigger bureaucracy. You know, here we are in having budget problems, and Senator Lamar Alexander and Bob Corker both, which Bob Corker gets money from the Banking Association. We know where who's got his ear. And Lamar Alexander, he needs to be gone. Matter of fact, y'all Tennesseans listening to this, I apologize. I backed Lamar Alexander and I backed Corker. I want to pull all my stuff from them. That doesn't mean I'm going after no Democrat candidate either. I'm just saying the Republicans are just as bad. I am now a libertarian. Go Ron Paul.